Have you ever been walking downtown in a major city, looked up at the giant luxury apartment buildings, and just wondered to yourself, who the hell lives there? Well, what if I were to tell you no one does? Today, let's dive into the underground world of organized crime, how money is sheltered in U.S. real estate, why it's done, and why no one is doing anything to stop it. Imagine you run an organized crime ring, netting billions of dollars a year. However, all of this money is ill-gotten funds. So, how do you shelter this money to make it vanish in the eyes of regulatory bodies and judicial bodies? Well, let's use Guangdong province in southern China, known as the world's factory, as a primary example. In Guangdong, China, crime groups use factories to create chemicals, narcotics, counterfeit goods, and other products for illegal export. All of these operations are funded by casinos, VIP gamblers, and organized gangs in Macau, and in Hong Kong by underground banks, financial systems, and law firms. The factories produce and transport fentanyl and other narcotics around the world by criminally controlled international shipping routes. The money brought in is then laundered in casinos, where the VIP gamblers from China are gambling. Those laundered funds then go to underground banks in Vancouver, which send the money right back to Hong Kong and Guangdong, China. A small portion of this money is then directed back to the factory to continue operations. But the majority of the funds is sent directly to offshore shell companies in Panama, the British Virgin Islands, and the Cayman Islands, which then gets routed back to underground banks of Vancouver. That laundered money is then used to purchase luxury real estate in major U.S. cities. This process may seem complex, but it is necessary for multiple reasons. Right about now, you might be asking why you would buy luxury real estate in the U.S. if the cash has already been laundered through casinos. This is when it is vital to understand the powerhouse that is the U.S. economy. Over the course of 50 years, the U.S. stock market has had an average annual return of 10% and a market cap of $45.5 trillion. This is over 4 times larger than the next largest stock market in China. So if I'm the head of a crime organization, how do I capitalize on all these returns? Simply, I would use the laundered money to purchase luxury real estate in major cities such as New York, then go to the bank and pull out a business line of credit for a couple $1 million at a close to 0% interest rate. This is possible because I can now show that I have 100% equity in a $40 million apartment, meaning I am a trustworthy borrower. I can now take that line of credit and invest it, receiving an annual return of 10%. This is the real definition of an infinite money glitch. So if this has been happening for decades, why is no one doing anything about it? Well, because your favorite billionaires benefit from the same system. Although U.S. billionaires and centennials do not make money through criminal activity, they do purchase the same luxury apartments. This is because property taxes in New York are based off the amount that the apartment to be rented out for and not the price of the property. If I own a $1 million apartment on Billionaires Row, but the monthly rent is only $8,000, my yearly property taxes will be under $1,000. On top of that, the more demand there is for these luxury apartments, the higher the evaluations are, increasing billionaires' net worth and allowing them to pull out larger lines of credit. Now that you are thoroughly enraged, you're probably asking, what the hell can we do about this? On August 10th, the U.S. Treasury Department came out to say they will soon propose a rule that effectively bans anonymous luxury home purchases. However, it is unlikely the proposal will go through in the near future, if not at all. The powers that be just have too much to benefit from keeping this system in place, and their influence on the political system is far greater than we can ever imagine.